Catherine, please tell her
Nice job.
hello.
I called her.
Bill down there.
You can do it.
Tell her hello from me.
I just like to hit the glass.
Go ahead and keep eating if you're not quite done, but on behalf of my brother, myself, and of course our family, I want to thank everybody for coming today and yesterday and giving us all the support that you've given our family. It's greatly, greatly appreciated. And if you could bear with me for just a couple minutes, I wanted to speak on behalf of my mother here, who was a wonderful lady. Most people that would talk to me about her referred to her as a saint. And then, of course, everybody wanted to know what happened to me then. That's a little levity
Yeah,
there.
this is good.
Need a little levity there. But she came to Mason City, and you know, to preface it, I've been gone over 40 years here from Mason City now. I think I left about 42 years ago, actually, and you know, went on with my life and still remain close to my parents here, even though I probably didn't spend as much time as I should have, trying to rise to the top of my profession and spending more time in Philadelphia or Las Vegas or New Jersey or, you know, wherever than Mason City. But in these last couple years, I got a chance to grow very close to my mother and spend a lot of more quality time with her. And over that time, we really came to a wonderful understanding, and I just wanted to share some of the moments that we talked about, because she wanted me to impart those to all of you here, especially in Mason City. She came here as a 28-year-old woman from Chicago, inner city Chicago, and Mason City, you know, embraced her and loved her. And she said that people here were just wonderful to her. But on the flip side, she was also wonderful to the people of Mason City as well. And I think most of you would agree with that. Me being gone for 40-some years and not being as close to her as, you know, I probably should have been, I can't even relate. I will relate a fraction of the things that she did that even I didn't know about till later in my life here. You know, coming here, and she had to live with her in-laws for 4 years before they got their own house. So I lived with my grandparents here up on the north end by the cement plant for the first couple years of my life. And everybody knows we were poor, just like most people that came to this country were. And but when living here, she embraced the church, unbelievably so. Her and my father helped build that church that you are all in today, helped raise the money, and probably made the cement that was poured in the foundation, because he worked at the cement plant there. And my mother just loved that church, and she loved the people of Mason City so much, it's unbelievable. She imparted to me things that obviously affected my life. When I was very, very young, she would force me, and I'll say force me to come and be pallbearers for indigent people that I didn't even know. She said, you need to come and be a pallbearer. I said, I don't know those people. She said, but they need somebody there. And so, for better for worse, it was for better for me, I did that because my mother wanted it. And as a way of teaching me a lesson about life. She adopted the Rarest family and took care of them up on the north end. Mexican people that lived down the alley on Adams there. And she adopted them like they were her in-laws. Took care of both of them till they died, till the day they died. Oversaw everything. Just took care of them. There was a Lucia. There was a young girl that was abandoned. My mother adopted her like she was her own daughter that she never had. And the young lady had a lot of problems in her life, and she's institutionalized today. Still is institutionalized today. But my mother took care of her, and nobody asked her to. She just did it. She just did it. And, you know, she, as I said, she imparted to me the gift of service or charity or whatever you'd like to say. And, you know, she loved the church so much that she had two kind of heartbreaking happenstances in these last couple of years that were very, very hard on her. Very, very hard on her. But even after the latest one, she never lost faith. She never, you know, got down. She never abandoned God. She never abandoned the church. She never abandoned her community. She, and this is God's honest truth, right after probably the second one, she called me up and she said, I need you to give $10,000. I'm going to give the $15,000, and we're going to put new carpeting in that church. And Father alluded to that yesterday, and I thank you for that. So we did that, and she wanted Dale's name on the plaque there too, which we didn't get taken care of because she loved Dale, obviously, and you can tell him that. She loved Dale. And it was just all these things. And I didn't even know a lot of these things till later in her life. You know, he talked about the windows. There was a need for windows. She pays for the windows. You know, God forbid that we would have a belly dancer at the festival there. So she's going to pay the $1,000 or $2,000 to make sure that we have a band instead of the belly dancers at the festival. And you know, and I'll give my brother credit. He stepped up, and he's going to keep footing that bill here, right, Father?
But he liked to sit there and watch the belly dance.
Not at church.
And but you know, it went beyond that. It went even further into humanity, so to speak, because and I never knew these things, as I said, and I was so far removed. She would write people that were incarcerated in jail or prison. She would send them money. And more than 1, 2, or 3 people. She was constantly doing these things that I had really no idea about. When you said that she sent you 75 checks or however many checks she sent you, I wouldn't know an idea of one of them was. But that was her, and that's how generous, you know, she was, and how important the church and the community of people here that she was a part of, you know, what that meant to her. And, you know, kind of on a personal note here, and once again I'll speak, you know, for my brother. She was very proud of my brother here. She would always tell me that, so I'll share that with you. She was very proud of my brother, probably much more so him than me, which is okay. I don't have any problems with that. I don't have any problems with that. But she taught me so much, and as I reflect on my life, you know, and I talk about when I have to discipline somebody, Gail, you know, we did that for years, or when I have to embrace and hold someone who's distraught, or physically fight with someone, that table knows what I'm talking about, and or if I have to feed somebody that's poor, you know, or if I teach someone how to shoot, or teach someone how to rebound, or, you know, just on and on and on. Hold them when they're distraught. Comfort them. Give them money. Buy clothes for people that need clothes. You know, and I could go on and on, because everything that I do certainly was a reflection of my mother, and for that I'll be forever grateful. And of course all of her friends here too. And I know, in closing, that I'm the man I am today because of my mother, and for that I'll always be grateful. And my brother and I talked in closing here that we're going to, continue our legacy. We're going to fund an educational scholarship for 2 people that are graduating from Mason City High School every year, and we have no qualms about doing that. And I, feel proud because that'll be in her name and my father's name. And so you talked about legacy last year, and I'm always talking about legacy and what we want to do. It's not about, making the money or getting the awards or whatever, but it's about the legacy that you leave. And the legacy that my mother left was very powerful because I would be in that ICU unit on Christmas Eve in the Mayo Clinic, because she was always up there, and people would come up and they would say, yes, your mother's a saint. Yes, your mother touched every person in Mason City in one respect or another, whether giving them a ride to this, or as Nick Landis was saying yesterday, organizing this at church, doing this at church, get on this committee, spending working hours, for 57 years or however many years she was here, 60 some years that she was here. And, to look at her as a saint and to think that she touched everybody's lives that, she came into contact with here in Mason City, that's what's so important to me. So, once again, on behalf of our family here, and thank you for bearing with me, but I wanted to share all those moments, and that's just a fraction, because I don't even know where most of the other money went. I mean, I'll tell you one last funny story. I was doing a teaching internship in Mexico City, and so I was living down there for several months. And I had this beautiful denim suit made. Now it was the 70s, remember? I had this beautiful denim suit made, tailor-made for myself. I brought it back, had it in my closet, and then, I went away for summer school or something like that. I came back and that suit was gone. And I said, where's that suit at? Yeah, she gave it to a man that needed it for something, for an interview to get a job or something like this. Of course, she didn't ask me. And I just was like, go get that suit back right now. Go over to his house, get that suit back right now. Well, she refused. She refused. She felt he would be better having it than I would have it. You know what? She was probably right. No doubt about that. So, once again, I wanted to share heartfelt moments with all of you because she loved all of you so much, and she grew close to you, and Mason City and the people of Mason City embraced her, but she loved all of you back. So thank you so much for coming. Have a safe trip home. Make sure you beat the blizzard, right, Father?
To get going.